So the chapter today is chapter 3, and it's on demand, supply, and market equilibrium. So markets are the interaction between buyers and sellers, and markets can be local, national, and international. So price is determined through buyers and sellers interactions. So demand is the schedule of curves. It's the amount that consumers are willing and able to purchase a given price. So as price goes down, quantity demand goes up. So it has an inverse relationship. So as the price goes down, you want to buy more, basically. That's just what happens with demand. So demand is a negative or inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So as price falls, the quantity demanded rises, and as price rises, the quantity demanded falls. So to get the market demand curve, you got to add up all the individual demands. So in this case, you add up Joe's demand, Jen's demand, and then Jay's demand, and then you get 30. So this is the market demand here, and these are just the individual demands. So just add those up and you get the total. So yeah, this is the curve when you add up the total. So demand is determined through consumer taste and preferences, change in number of buyers, change in income, normal goods, and inferior goods. So a normal good is something you buy more of when you have a higher income. So what examples would you think of for that one? Like what types of examples can you think of for a product that you buy more of if you have a higher income? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, watches would be a good one. That's good. Maybe like a Maserati, maybe a yacht, maybe like a private plane, maybe. You'd be like a billionaire for that. A luxury watch, that's great. What about inferior goods, or you buy more of when you have a lower income? What types of products would you buy more of if you have a lower income? So like something like craft dinner would be something like that. Let's say also maybe bus tickets, that kind of thing, compared to the buying private plane, let's say. So then terms of demand, so complements are you buy them at the same time. So like ketchup and mustard, you buy together. And then substitutes are if the price goes up of a substitute, you buy the other substitute more. So can you think of any substitutes that substitute goods that you could purchase? So like if the price goes up of one substitute good, what type of substitute could you buy instead that's cheaper? That's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah. So if Heinz goes up in price, you could buy more of French, let's say. Yeah, yeah. Grocery items is a good example. So bread, Wonder Bread goes up in price. You could uh, buy more Dempsters. Let's say that's great. Yeah, great examples. Clothing, that's great. Yeah, good job on that. Uh, so if demand goes up like this, then there's more demanded of corn. If demand goes left, there's less demand of corn. So change in buyer taste. So an example of that is physical fitness rises in popularity. So people buy more jogging shoes and bicycles. And then also cell phone popularity rises. So there's a reduced demand for landline phones. And then a decline in the birth rate. So change in number of buyers. If birth rate goes down, there's a decrease in demand for children's toys. And then a change in income. So more income, there's more of a demand for normal goods like restaurant meals, sports tickets, tablet computers, and decreased demand for inferior goods such as cabbage, turnips, and the expensive wine. And then change in prices of related goods, a reduction in airfares, reduces demand for bus transportation, that's substitute goods, decline in the price of Blu-ray DVD players, increases demand for Blu-ray DVD movies, complementary goods, change in consumer expectations, bad weather in South America creates an expectation of higher future coffee bean prices. So there's increase in today's demand for coffee beans. So change in demand is a shift of the entire demand curve. So it shifts right or left. Change in quantity demand is movement along the curve. So supply is also a curve. So as price rises, the company provides more, supplies more because they'll make more money. So as the price rises, quantity supplied increases because they'll make more money. So yeah, if they're gonna get a higher price for something, they'll produce more of it. So that's just what the supply curve goes. So like if the price goes up, they'll supply more. The decrease in supply, this would be caused by like bad weather, drought, etc. So also higher costs of production, that worse technology. The increase in supply is caused by lower costs of production, better technology, better weather, etc. Then change in quantity supplied is a movement along the curve. The supply is determined by factor prices, technology, taxes, and subsidies, prices of other goods, price expectations, number of sellers. Uh, so if factor prices go down, the supply will increase. Technology gets better, supply will increase. Taxes and subsidies. If taxes go up, supply will decrease. If subsidies go up, supply will increase. So if number of sellers goes up, the supply will increase. So changes in factor prices. So decrease in the price of microchips increases the supply of computers. An increase in the price of crude oil reduces the supply of gasoline. Change in technology. Development of more effective wireless technology increases the supply of cell phones. Changes in tax and subsidies. An increase in the excise tax on cigarettes reduces the supply of cigarettes. A decline in subsidies to state universities reduces the supply of higher education. Change in prices of other goods. An increase in the price of cucumbers decreases the supply of watermelons. Change in producer expectations. An expectation of a substantial rise in future log prices decreases the supply of logs today. Change in number of suppliers. So an increase in number of tattoo parlors increases supply of tattoos. The formation of a women's professional basketball league increases the supply of basketball games by women. So equilibrium is when demand curve and supply curve intersect. And then surplus is above that, shortage is below that. So surplus would be above, and then equilibrium would be this, and then shortage would be below. Productive efficiency is when goods are produced in the least costly way, using the best technology, using the right mix of resources. Allocative efficiency is when you have the right mix. So change in demand. If demand increases while supply stays constant, the price will increase while quantity increases as well. Supply of the goods is the same and the demand decreases, the price will decrease, the quantity will decrease. So as you see here, demand increases, price goes up, quantity goes up. And then if demand decreases, price goes down, quantity goes down. If supply increases while demand stays the same, price falls, quantity rises. If demand stays the same and supply decreases, price will rise, quantity will fall. So as you see here, supply increases, quantity increases, price decreases. And as you see here, supply decreases, price increases, quantity decreases. And then complex cases, if supply increases, demand, so these are complex cases. Like, I'll show you what happens. So, if supply increases and demand decreases, price will decrease, but quantity, we don't know what happens to quantity. So I'll show you what happens there. So like if, so let's say we have our chart here. So we wouldn't know what happens to quantity. I'll show you why. It's hard to determine that because let's say supply increases, so supply goes here, and then demand decreases. So let's say that we're here and we're here, say we go from here to here to here. We know price decreases, but we're not sure what would happen to quantity. So what about if supply decreases and demand increases? What would happen to price and quantity? So price would increase, quantity we wouldn't know what happened. And then supply increases, demand increases. We don't know what happens to price, but quantity increases. And then if supply and demand decrease, we don't know what happens to price, but we know that quantity increases. So price ceilings are the maximum legal price a seller may charge for a product or service. So it's set below equilibrium price. This is done to keep prices low. So they do this for rent control mostly. So to keep rents below equilibrium, causes a shortage. Then price floor, they do this for milk, and they do this for the minimum wage. So this is a good example for milk. So milk's like $4 a bag, and $3 is the equilibrium. So they set it above just so they can help milk producers in Canada make more profits and be more competitive compared to US. There's a surplus. That's the first PowerPoint. So we will do our next activity. Just bring it up. So So we'll do this. So a virus damages many apple trees. What would this cause? A supply shift or demand shift?
Supply.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Great job. Buyers expect apple prices to rise. What would this cause?
Demand shift.
Then sales of apple pies rise. What would this cause?
Demand shift as well.
Then the government subsidizes apple production. What would this cause?
Supply.
Then consumer incomes rise. What would this cause? Yeah, that's great. And apple picker productivity rises. What would this cause? Yeah, that's great. And then wages rise for apple pickers. What would this cause? That's great. New technology for apple picking is introduced. What would this cause? Yep. Then pears fall in price. What would this cause? Yep. Then new health benefits for apples are announced. What would this cause? Great job, everybody. Awesome work, class. That was great. So yeah, great job on that one. So we will do the next PowerPoint. Zooming it up here. But great job, everybody. That was great. Thanks for all the participation. So here we will, so additional examples of supply and demand. So this is more on the similar to what we did in the game. So supply shifts left for lettuce. It's caused by weather destroying part of the crop. So that would cause a supply decrease. And then demand doesn't change. Consumers still want as much lettuce as before, even though weather destroyed part of the crop. So supply would shift left because of bad weather. And then if the dollar, so demand for, yeah, demand would increase. Demand for a currency would increase if there's currency appreciation. So there's a higher supply for pink salmon if there's new technology and new fishers enter the industry. So supply would shift right in those situations. Then demand shifts left for pink salmon if there's an increase in consumers' income. This is the case because pink salmon is so this is an inferior good. Very good. So they are gonna buy less pink salmon when they have more income. So what do you think they would buy more of if they have more income instead of pink salmon? Oh yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, caviar. Yeah, they would buy more caviar. That's great. Yeah, buy more caviar. That's great. Great job. and then reduction in the price of substitutes. So they would ship to substitutes if they're cheaper. Can you think of a substitute to pink salmon, like another fish that's really cheap? Yeah, trout bass is great example. So like, yeah, they'd ship to if the price of trout and bass went down, people would shift to eating trout and bass compared to pink salmon. That's great. That's great. And then, so yeah, if there's new technology and new fishes enter the industry, supply will shift right, like this. Then demand will shift left if substitutes decrease in price and people make more income. Supply of gasoline decreases if there's refinery breakdowns, Mideast politics and warfare, rising price of oil. Demand for gasoline increases if consumers' incomes increased and low mileage SUVs are popular. Supply shifts right if there's an increase in number of sushi bars for sushi, and demand shifts right if consumers' taste for sushi increases. So that's a good PowerPoint showing a lot of the impacts of like a lot of how demand and supply shift. So we'll do this game here. It's like a good intro to stock market investing. So we're gonna have to make decisions on what to buy and sell in terms of commodities in this game. So buy commodities at one price and sell at a higher price. Sell when demand is high. Um, so let's try this. Yes. So I'll 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 check if so that's a good question. So the yeah, I'll put it up right now. So I'll put up what I'll do is I'll put up all the PowerPoints at once. So every single one for the whole course, it'll be all up right now. Just gonna bring it up right now. So they'll all be there. Yeah. So it's just loading. It's just loading. So all 18 chapters will be uploaded on learning content in Blackboard. So here, so what do you want to buy first? Because we want to buy it low and sell it high. So what do you think we should buy first? Eggs, okay. How many eggs do you want to buy? Okay, cool. Uh, okay, so how about we buy so let's split the difference, maybe 12. So what do you want to buy next? Fish? How many fish do you want to buy? Okay, cool. Four. Okay. Excellent. And then what do you want to buy next? Beans? How many beans do you want to buy? 1 kilogram. Um, Do you mean 1 unit or 1 kilogram? Beans, okay. We can only buy 30, so let's buy all 30. So what do you want to buy next? It's okay, that's good, no problem. No problem. So what do you want to buy next? Cheese, how much cheese? 3? Okay, cool. I how much rice do you want to buy? 4? Cool. 4 rice. Excellent. So what do we buy next? How many dates do you want to buy? 4? Cool. Excellent. So what do you guys want to buy next? Bread? How much bread? 2. Great. What does everyone want to buy next? That's it. Okay, cool. Great. So we have about 3 weeks left until the end. I'd recommend we may wait a bit until selling, but before I think week 12, I think we should sell it all. We'll just wait. Um, so bread is at 353 unit. I think we should sell our bread because it's at high demand right now. Oh, the demand's lower now. So let's wait until one of our selfish. Okay, cool. Selfish. Oh, so we're at negative 28 cents of profit right now. So cheese, okay. Okay, good. $3.14 profit. That's great. Great call. What do you want about? What do you want to sell now? Sell beans. Okay. Oh, great. Great call. Great call on that. And then eggs. Good call. Awesome. $21.62 in profit. Great job. What do you want to sell next? Sell dates. Okay. Great job. Excellent call on that one. What do you want to sell next? Or buy? Sell bread. Okay. Great call. A great call. Yeah, great job. Then what's the next thing you want to sell? Rice. Do you want to sell your rice? Great job. $26.82 in profit. Awesome work. That was great. Yeah, excellent job. That was great. Yeah. This is a good game on learning like trading. It's kind of a good intro to trading. So here so limit orders, if trading stock, limit orders are important because so uh limit orders guarantee lock in a price for you. So you won't buy at a higher price or sell at a lower price than that limit. So it locks in that price so you don't lose money. So to add on to that, there's this there's this website called How the Market Works, and I'll show you. I'd recommend everyone make an account. Like, this is not for marks, but it's more like a practice activity. I'd recommend everyone to make an account. So you can make an account with that link that I put in the chat. So like for my account here, I used to have it's a good intro to the stock market. So it's like the BP game, but you buy stocks. So let's say I want to buy like Tesla. Say Tesla here. So the price is 303.35. Let's say how much money do I have in my account? Like this is a fake account here. Let's see the cap balance. Just gonna check worse. Yeah, it won't show me this. So make a trade. I think it'll just tell me how much I have. So Tesla here, and then they want to buy like 1,000 shares or something. And then we put limit. So we put a limit price of, let's say I want to put a limit price of 305. You want to put a limit price just a bit higher than the last price here. Just so it goes through. Then click to preview order. Click to confirm order. So that's how you do it here. So I recommend everyone make an account for how the market works and just try to trade. And yeah. Yeah, so it's a good intro if you do want to and do stock market investing. This is a good intro to doing that. So yeah, so that's kind of an intro to that. So we'll start our next PowerPoint. Up here. More like it's more on the graphing side. So here. So mostly what you need to know is that the intersection, so like this is the equilibrium. So when supply and demand meet, it's equilibrium. And that is the most efficient point. So that's mostly what you need to know for this. You don't really need to know these equations. So that's basically that there. Crux of that. So then just gonna bring up video. So we're gonna go through market failures. So the consumer surplus is the difference between what a consumer is willing to pay for a good and what the consumer actually pays. So you get an extra benefit for paying less than the maximum price. So let's say, excuse me, my maximum price to buy something is $13. And the actual price is $8. My consumer surplus would be $5. So it's the difference between what I'd pay the most for something and the price I pay. And you take that difference. So if you do it graphically, you got to find this area, this triangle. So you do base times height divided by 2 equals consumer surplus on a graph. So that's how you do it there. So producer surplus is the difference between the actual price the producer receives and the minimum price it would accept. So extra benefit from receiving a higher price. So it's the lowest price you'll sell at. The difference between the lowest price you'll sell at and the price that you get. So let's say the lowest price you'll sell something at is $3, and then the price you get is $8. The producer surplus is the difference between that. So $5. So in that case, $5. So to get it, you got to calculate the area of this triangle here, and that's base times height divided by 2. So you calculate the triangle's area using this formula. And then the efficiency loss here, so this is when you produce less than efficient and you lose this triangle area. And if you produce too much, you lose this triangle area. So you may produce more than efficient, and then you lose this area of the triangle. So private goods, they are rival and excludable. The problem with private goods, they could be underproduced or overproduced because for a lot of reasons. And public goods are good because they can be overproduced or underproduced. They could be, so public goods, we can use subsidies. We can use subsidies to increase production to maximum level, to efficient level. So like, for example, public transit is subsidized to be efficient. So this is a non-rival, non-excludable. However, there's a free rider problem that means that people who don't pay taxes benefit from public goods. So people who don't pay taxes benefit from national defense and benefit from roads. So in this case, you want marginal benefit to equal marginal cost to make it most efficient. In this case, we don't have marginal benefit equal to marginal cost exactly, but it's close. So this one's the closest it gets. So 4-lane highways, this is the closest it gets, and this maximizes net benefits. So it's almost equal. 8 and 10 are close to being equal, and net benefit is highest. So like in this case, net benefit will be highest when MB equals MC, or MB is close to equal to MC. So positive externalities, too little is produced, demand side market failures, so they can solve this through subsidies to increase production to efficient level. Then negative externalities, too much is produced, so they can do that they can reduce this through taxes to reduce production to efficient level. They can correct negative externalities through taxes. They can correct positive externalities through subsidies. So negative externalities through overproduction of output and over allocation of resources. This can be corrected through private bargaining, liability rules and lawsuits, tax on producers, direct controls, market for externality rights. Positive externalities can be is through underproduction of output, so therefore under allocation of resources. This can be corrected through private bargaining, subsidy consumers, subsidy producers, procurement provision. So government is needed because they can correct externalities through taxing a negative externality or subsidizing a positive externality. So so for pollution, they can do carbon cap and trade or carbon tax to tax the negative externality to reduce output to the efficient level. That's the, so we'll do our next activity. If there's not enough information in the gasoline market, so like if the government is not inspecting gasoline pumps, if there's no weights and measures system established by law, no law against false advertising, people would just not buy gasoline. So if we didn't, if this happens, just people, if this was the case, people would not buy gasoline because it would cost too much money to verify safety standards. Yeah, so like we need information to be consistent across all parties and buy the gasoline market in order for people to keep buying gasoline. So licensing of surgeons is another one. So like we have regulations regarding the qualifications of surgeons, because like in this case, like if we had no regulations about the qualifications of surgeons, it would cost too much money to obtain information about surgeons, and this would cause so many problems to humans and the economy. There would be like a high rate of high rate of injuries, severe illness, and death. So like there's a reason why we have regulation. This is why we have strict regulation in licensing of surgeons and doctors, because there'd be a high rate of injuries, severe illness, and death if we didn't. So moral hazard is the tendency for a person to alter the behavior after a contract is signed in ways that are costly to the other party. There were a lot of issues with moral hazard in the 2008 financial crisis, and I'll show a video on that. So examples could be drivers may be less cautious when they have car insurance, and then employment compensation insurance may lead to some workers short. An adverse selection, so information is known by a party that is not known by the other, so there's a lot of cost to the other party. This is done through the public health care system in Canada. There's been issues with that. Then people that are more likely to need insurance are those to buy insurance. And then ways to overcome information difficulties without government intervention, they can be through